You spent 12 years in school. 12 years of your life. And let me ask you something, did anyone ever teach you how to make money? How to negotiate? How to sell? How to build something from nothing? No. They taught you the quadratic formula. They taught you about mitochondria. They taught you dates of wars that happened centuries ago, and I'm not saying that knowledge is useless. But here's what nobody wants to admit, the education system prepared you to be an employee, not an entrepreneur. A follower, not a leader, a cog in someone else's machine, not the architect of your own empire. I made my first $1 million at 23, and you know how many times I used calculus? 0. You know how many times I used the business lessons I'm about to share with you? Every single day. So here are the 10 business lessons that should be taught in every school, but never will be. Because if everyone knew these, the game would change. And the system doesn't want the game to change. Lesson number 1, and this is the foundation of everything, cash flow is more important than profit. Schools teach you that profit is king. Revenue minus expenses equals profit. Simple math, right? Wrong. You can be profitable on paper and still go bankrupt. I've seen it happen 100 times. A business makes $1 million in sales, shows $200,000 in profit, and 3 months later, they're closing their doors. How? Because profit is theoretical. Cash flow is real. Here's what they should teach you in school. It doesn't matter what someone owes you. It matters when you get paid. You can have $1 million in accounts receivable, but if your rent is due Tuesday and you've got $47 in your bank account, you're done. This is why big companies demand payment in 30 days but pay their suppliers in 90 days. They're not being difficult. They're managing cash flow. They understand that the money in your hand today is worth more than the promise of money tomorrow. Your homework assignment. If schools actually taught this, track every dollar that comes in and goes out for 1 month. Not what you're owed. Not what you expect. What actually moves. That's cash flow, and once you understand it, you'll never look at business the same way. Lesson 2, your time is the only asset you can never get back, so stop trading it for money. The biggest lie the education system tells you is this: go to school, get good grades, get a job, work 40 years, retire at 65, then enjoy life. You just gave away 40 years. The best years. The healthiest years. The years when you had energy, creativity, and ambition. You traded all of that for a paycheck and a gold watch. Here's what they should teach instead: build systems that make money while you sleep. Because if you're not earning while you're sleeping, you're going to work until you die. Look at the wealthiest people in the world. Bezos, Musk, Gates. Are they trading hours for dollars? No. They built systems. They built businesses that generate value 24/7, whether they're working or not. And before you say "but I'm not a genius billionaire," stop right there. You don't need to be. You need to understand one principle: leverage. Your time has a maximum value. There are only 24 hours in a day. But systems? Systems scale infinitely. A course you create once can be sold 1,000 times. A business you build can serve millions. An investment compounds while you're on vacation. School should teach you this at 15, not at 35 when you're already burned out and wondering why you're still broke despite working 60-hour weeks. Lesson 3, and this one's controversial: if you can't sell, you can't succeed. Period. Schools treat sales like it's dirty. Like it's beneath you. They create this hierarchy where doctors and lawyers are prestigious, but salespeople? They're pushy. They're sleazy. That's garbage. And it's designed to keep you poor. Here's the reality: every successful person is a salesperson. The doctor sells you on a treatment plan. The lawyer sells the jury on their argument. The CEO sells the vision to investors. Your favorite teacher? They sold you on caring about their subject. Life is sales. Your resume is a sales pitch. Your dating profile is a sales pitch. That presentation you gave in class? Sales pitch. But here's what they don't teach you: Sales is not manipulation. Sales is communication. It's understanding what someone needs and showing them how you can provide it. It's creating value and articulating that value clearly. The person who can sell will never be unemployed. Never. Because even if their business fails, they can sell for someone else and make six figures. Even if the economy crashes, people still need solutions, and the person who can communicate those solutions wins. I've hired hundreds of people in my career. You know what I look for? Not the highest GPA. Not the most prestigious degree. I look for people who can sell. Because I can teach product knowledge in a week, I can't teach someone how to influence, persuade, and close in a month. Lesson 4. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. The education system punishes failure. You fail a test, you get an F. You fail a class, you don't graduate. You fail enough times, you are labeled a problem student. So what do kids learn? Avoid failure at all costs. Play it safe. Color inside the lines. Don't take risks. Then they enter the real world and wonder why they're paralyzed by fear. Here's what schools should teach. Every successful business is built on a mountain of failures. Amazon had the Fire Phone. Google had Google+. Coca-Cola had New Coke. Did those failures destroy them? No. Because failure is just data. It's feedback. It tells you what doesn't work so you can adjust and find out what does. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before creating the light bulb. But he didn't see them as failures. He saw them as 10,000 ways that didn't work. Each one brought him closer to the solution. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't that they fail less. They fail more. But they fail forward. They extract the lesson, adjust the approach, and try again. School should have a class called Intelligent Failure where students are required to start projects, watch them fail, analyze why, and iterate. Because in business, the person who fails fastest wins. They learn faster, adapt faster, and ultimately succeed faster. Lesson 5. The people you know will determine your income more than anything you know. Schools teach you to compete with your classmates. Beat them on tests. Rank higher. Get into the better college. It's a zero-sum game where their success is your failure. Then you enter business and realize the complete opposite is true. Your success is directly tied to the success of the people around you. Show me your 5 closest friends, and I'll show you your future. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If everyone around you thinks small, you'll think small. If everyone around you is comfortable with mediocrity, you'll be comfortable with mediocrity. But here's what they should teach. Building a network is not schmoozing at events with a fake smile and a stack of business cards. That's shallow and everyone can smell it. Real networking is about providing value first. It's about connecting people who can help each other. It's about being genuinely interested in others' success. It's about building relationships based on mutual respect and support. The most valuable business lesson I ever learned came from a conversation in a coffee shop, not a classroom. The deal that changed my life came from someone I helped 3 years earlier with no expectation of return. Your network compounds like interest. Every person you help, every genuine relationship you build, creates opportunities you can't even imagine yet. But you have to plant those seeds long before you need the harvest. Lesson 6. Money flows to whoever solves the most expensive problems. School teaches you to find the right answer. Business teaches you to find the right problem. Here's the pattern nobody explains. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. A barber solves a small problem and makes $30. A therapist solves a bigger problem and makes $200 per hour. A surgeon solves a life or death problem and makes $500,000 a year. But here's the key, expensive doesn't always mean complicated. Uber solved the problem of I need a ride right now. Airbnb solved I need a place to stay that's not a hotel. Neither one invented transportation or hospitality. They just made existing solutions more convenient. What they should teach in school: stop looking for a passion. Start looking for problems. Walk around your city and write down every frustration you experience. every inconvenience, every moment where you think there has to be a better way, those frustrations? Those are business opportunities. The biggest mistake young entrepreneurs make is building solutions to problems that don't exist or problems people don't care enough about to pay for. They create apps nobody wants, products nobody needs, services nobody values. But if you solve a problem that costs someone time, money, or stress, they'll throw money at you. Because you're not selling a product. You're selling relief. Find expensive problems. Become obsessed with solving them better than anyone else. And the money will follow. Lesson 7, Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. But margin is the real game. Everyone wants to brag about revenue. I run $1 million business. Sounds impressive, right? Until you realize they spent $950,000 to make that million. They netted $50,000 and worked 80-hour weeks. Congratulations, you just bought yourself a job that pays $12 an hour. Here's what schools should teach. Two businesses can both make $1 million, but one keeps $100,000 and the other keeps $600,000. Which business would you rather own? Profit margins tell you the efficiency of your business. They tell you how much money you keep from every dollar that comes in. And high margins give you options. High margins mean you can weather economic storms. You can invest in growth. You can make mistakes and survive. You can pay yourself well without bankrupting the company. Low margins mean you're one bad month away from disaster. You're stuck on a hamster wheel where you need constant growth just to stay alive. The most valuable skill in business? Increasing margins without decreasing value. Cut waste. Optimize operations. Increase prices without losing customers. Negotiate better deals with suppliers. That's the game. Not just making more money, but keeping more of what you make. Lesson 8, and this one's criminal that schools don't teach it. The tax code is written to benefit business owners, not employees. Schools prepare you to be an employee. Work your job, get your W-2, pay your taxes, and shut up. You'll pay 30 to 40% of your income in taxes, and that's just how it is. But business owners? They play a completely different game. Employees pay taxes on gross income. Business owners pay taxes on net income after deductions. That means every legitimate business expense reduces your taxable income. Your home office? Deductible. Your car if you use it for business? Deductible. Your phone, your computer, your travel to meetings and conferences? Deductible. I'm not talking about tax evasion. I'm talking about understanding the rules of the game and playing within them strategically. Here's what they should teach. The government wants you to start businesses. They incentivize it through the tax code. Because businesses create jobs, drive innovation, and grow the economy. But if you don't know the rules, you'll pay far more than you need to. Learn basic accounting. Understand write-offs. Hire a good CPA. Because every dollar you save in taxes is a dollar that compounds in your business. Lesson 9, done is better than perfect. Speed beats perfection every single time. The education system rewards perfection. Spend hours on the essay. Triple check your work. Get that A+. Business rewards speed. Launch the product and improve it based on feedback. Ship the imperfect version and iterate. Test the idea before investing years into it. Here's the truth, your first version will be terrible. Your first product, your first service, your first pitch. It's going to be rough, but if you wait until it's perfect, someone else will launch first. They'll capture the market. They'll learn from real customers while you're still theorizing in your garage. Facebook wasn't perfect when it launched. The iPhone had problems. Amazon started by just selling books from a garage. They launched, learned, and improved. That's the cycle. Not plan, perfect, then launch. That's a recipe for never starting. What school should teach? Minimum viable product. Get your idea to market as fast as possible. Let real customers tell you what works and what doesn't. Then improve based on actual data, not your assumptions. Speed compounds. Every day you're in market, you're learning. Every week you delay, your competition is getting ahead. And finally, Lesson 10, your psychology matters more than your strategy. Schools focus entirely on knowledge and skills. They assume if you just learn enough information and develop enough competence, success will follow, but that's not how it works. I know brilliant people who are broke. I know average intelligence people who are wealthy. The difference? Mindset. Do you believe you deserve success? Do you see opportunities or obstacles? Do you take responsibility or make excuses? Are you willing to delay gratification or do you need instant results? These questions determine your outcomes more than your IQ, your degree, or your talent. Business will break you mentally before it breaks you financially. You'll face rejection, criticism, failure, and self-doubt. The person with the stronger mind wins. What school should teach? Resilience, delayed gratification, emotional regulation, self-discipline. These aren't soft skills. They're the hardest skills, and they're the difference between someone who starts strong and quits at the first obstacle, and someone who builds something that lasts. So there you have it. 10 business lessons that will change your life if you actually apply them, not just watch and not apply. Because here's the final truth, the education system isn't going to change. They're not suddenly going to start teaching you how to build wealth and freedom. That's on you. You can complain about what you weren't taught, or you can take responsibility for teaching yourself. You can blame the system, or you can be the system. The choice is yours. The information is out there. The opportunities are endless. And now you know the lessons that actually matter, so what are you going to do with them? Drop a comment below with the one lesson that hit you hardest. Subscribe if you want more content that schools won't teach you. And go build something that matters, your move.